bullies chase disabled friends and throw stones at them in terrifying hate crime attack. Two friends with learning difficulties have told how they were chased and pelted with stones by a gang of youths in an alleged hate crime attack. Chris Johnson, 43, and Heidi Fraser, 33, were targeted by two boys and a girl who began abusing the pair outside Nisa in Wawne Road, Hull, on Monday night. Ms. Fraser, a mum of two, was then hit in the face by a rock as the pair fled to her house in Bossington Close. However, their young attackers followed them before lobbing stones at her home in front of her young child. She said, "They followed us from the shops and shouted things like 'Bang, we are going to get you to Chris.' We thought nothing of it, but then they started throwing stones and a rock hit my face, which really shook me up. We got to leave school and they were right behind us. They called me a slag and I phoned my bloke up and said ring the police." After fleeing to what they thought was safety, Miss Fraser's wheelchair-bound husband Michael, 64, opened the door only to be subjected to a horrific X-rated rant by a teenage girl. They tried to throw stones at him and this girl called him a disabled deaf bee, which left my 4-year-old traumatized. It made me feel so intimidated and now I just feel like I can't even go to the shops without them targeting us. Mr. Johnson, who lives in a high-rise flat in Gatwick House, said he has been tormented by vicious bullies in the past few months. He thinks they target his vulnerable nature, but the events of Monday night proved to be the last straw. "I've got learning disabilities and I do tend to get bullied," he said. "I might look a bit slow and I think they could be targeting me because of my disabilities. I find it hard to mix with people. I'm a quiet person and sometimes I have a bit of it which I'll also sometimes talk to myself without realizing I am doing it. It's left me scared and we had to run a little but because they were chasing us. I got out of breath because I am asthmatic and I have coughed but they still carried on even though they could see I was struggling to breathe. It makes me angry and upset and I wish they would go away. They just don't care and I hope the police do something about it." Ms. Fraser, who was left shocked and horrified by the abuse, also has learning difficulties and believes the mob of youngsters picked on them both after realizing their vulnerabilities. She said, "I don't like bullies whatsoever. I've always stuck up for Chris as best as I can. It's upsetting that they have targeted us because of that. They shouldn't be going around doing it and they shouldn't be out at 9 p.m. on their own at night. It was disgusting what they said to us. When we were younger we wouldn't dream of speaking to our parents like that. They need to think about their behavior. They wouldn't like it if they were in a similar situation. It is a hate crime because they targeted my husband's disabilities as well as mine and Chris' vulnerabilities." More, leaked emails after Grenfell Show Council leader complaining of media shitstorm since the attack. Police officers have been to Miss Fraser's house to reassure her and her husband. The force has told the pair that the incident is being investigated as a possible hate crime and they are calling on the public to help identify the culprits. A spokesman for Humberside Police said, "We are looking for two teenage boys and a teenage girl who were reported to have thrown stones and verbally abused a woman in Hull. The incident happened around 9 p.m. on June 4, 2018, on Bossington Close. Some of the stones had hit the woman and she was left shaken. Officers have been to visit the victim as reassurance and to give her advice. The teenagers have been described as being between 11 and 15 years old. The girl was wearing a gray top and gray bottoms. The boys were wearing black coats and trousers. We are investigating this as a possible hate crime. If you know who these suspects are or have any information, please call 101 quoting reference 16/61181/18. More, mountain biker, 23, dies after crashing into a tree on a racetrack he designed. More, Victoria Beckham puts family first with sweet pic while husband David works away.